defenders have been given. Like,
Hey man, that intro is a banger. Shout out to Little Nitty for making that, and shout out to all the other YouTubers and whatnot who have helped me along the way. But anyways, people, let's get back to how I normally do things. People, deluded, that's the money statement. I hope you're doing well and safe. I'm obviously back again. Good morning to those of you like myself over here in the UK. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course good night, depending on who you are, and obviously wherever you are in this fine world. With it being Tuesday, I hope you've all having a good start to the week. You know, I hope you've all got a spring in your step. Hope you've all got your health in all denominations of the word and whatnot, people. I hope you're doing well and safe. What can I say? Please do me a favor. Make sure you're hitting the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. And obviously, you know, the good news is that it's content galore today. We're doing our little Arsenal live stream today. At 5:10, we quickly go over to Twitch, people. I'll be doing, you know, Young Boys versus Manchester United, people. I'm going to do a watch along for that. We'll then come back over onto YouTube for Bayern Munich, obviously, versus Barcelona versus Bayern Munich. The links are pinned to the pin message in the live chat. They're actually in the description of this video, and I've just reposted them for you guys because I'm so nice in the chat. So if you're not going to be there, I beg you hit the like button. Every like does bits for the engagement and all of those sort of things, people. I hope you're well and safe, man. And like I always say, better than that, it's a privilege to be here every day or every time I'm doing a live bit of content with you guys. And I do appreciate you lot's consistent support and continued support. And long may it continue, provided I give you lot what you want. So yeah, shout out to the subscribers, the supporters, the members, the moderators, you know, supporters, whether they've just found out about me today or they've been rocking from the days where we used to have a blue jacket. Quite the humble beginnings, man. Appreciate you lot. Please make sure we're all hitting the like button if you have not done such. Now, clearly, we're going to get into Leno versus Ramsdale, or the latest twist and turn, if you could say that. We've got some 1-2 bits of Jack Wilshere. You know, whatever I've got in the tabs is what we're going to speak about, innit, people? And obviously, don't be scared to voice your opinion, ask some questions, and do all of those sort of things, people. I hope you're all doing well and safe. And like I said, I hope you're all kushti, man. As I've said, check the pin message. You can see information for the next bits of live content and whatnot. P. Mavis saying, bring Jack home. How are you? Omar is saying, how are you, DJ? I'm good, man. Got my health, spring in my step, had a decent night's sleep. You know, big day of content. Obviously, we're here right now. Then there's 2 other pieces. It's a privilege, man. You know, trying to be better than I was yesterday, trying to move towards my own goals, hopes, dreams, and aspirations. So, yeah, man, I can't complain, man. Nothing going wrong in my life, or, you know, I don't think many things are going right, but, you know, nothing's going wrong. So, I can only try my hardest in it. I ain't got nothing to complain about. People are in better positions than me. People are also in worse positions. It's not down for me to look at what other people are doing. It's just to apply myself and ultimately be better than I was yesterday. That's all I try to do in this life. So appreciate you for asking that, man. I would love Wilshere back. One of my favorite Arsenal players, does not deserve to not have a club. As long as he's fit, he'll be a handful for anybody. As long as he's fit. Signing Wilshere would be a fantastic PR move by Arteta. Hit that like button, says Theo. How you feeling? DG says Tino. One love for that. As I was saying, kind of answering from the other one, I'm good, my guy. Maybe it's because Arsenal won. Maybe it's because of you guys. Maybe it's because I don't even know what you call it, but like a cinnamon roll. Like I bought the frozen ones from IKEA. And I put it in the oven just before this. And what a great breakfast idea that was, man, you know. Sometimes I'm in a bad mood purely because I haven't eaten enough. So now, yeah, belly's full. It's raining over here in the UK. I don't give a crap, though. It is what it is, people. It is what it is. Replace Leno with Onana in January. Let them battle out for number 1, even though it will be Onana. To be fair with you, my guy, Onana, the next one is he's going Barcelona and all of those sort of things now, people. And if I'm honest with you, if I'm Onana, yeah, you might be able to come Arsenal and you'll tie into what we've got. But I think you could go and play Champions League football somewhere if possible. So again, you never know what offers could be put on the table because it's a merry-go-round, you know. Inter Milan, Onana's been linked with Inter, us, you know, Barcelona today. So there's a lot. Hit the like button, people. There's a lot for him to consider. I wouldn't mind though, Nana, but for me, I don't I said it before. I don't think he's a bad keeper, but I don't really rate them sort of man there. I like what Ramsdale brings to the table. I don't think he's a quality keeper like that. He might be able to be one, and I don't think he's rubbish. I don't think Leno. I think Leno gets a bad rep, but I don't think he's levels. I don't really feel Onana, you know, fantastic with the ball at his feet and all of that. But these new age keepers, they concern me. I'm not going to sit and act like I believe Onana is the bread and butter and whatnot. Obviously, it's support him and that, and he's got clangers. If we bring in Onana and it's him versus Ramsdale, then may the best man win. But you don't clearly see who's the number one. As I said in a couple of live streams before, we've got to be looking at a keeper. I very much doubt that Arthur Okonkwo is ready to step up and be our number 2 next season. Would love him to do it. I very much doubt Renesson's gone off on loan to Belgium and going to return a competent option. So we need a number 2. You know, it was down to Ramsdale and obviously Leno's contractual situation, and it was down to Ramsdale to obviously decide who is going to be that. You know, if Ramsdale's the number 1, you need a number 2. If Ramsdale moves shaky, then you need to get someone else in. And we all knew for Arsenal, 30 million is big money. We wasn't going to spend 30 million, a key part of the rebuild, for him to sit on the bench. So I'd rather this sooner rather than later. As I always say, let Ramsdale, not just Ramsdale, but the whole defense, you know, Ramsdale, TONEY, Gabriel, Ben White, you know, TT at right back, let them play with each other, whether you're doing a back 3, 4, 5, whatever. Do it. Let them understand each other's gameplays. Let them understand their individual roles and collectively what entails. Let them understand other people's roles so that maybe they have an appreciation, because, you know, you need to understand your role. But it's like, you know, there'll be an incident where, yeah, I don't know how to make it make sense, but a striker might be able to just, you know, it's not a striker's job to be chasing down the right back, but he could just do it, you know, just do it. It's not his job. And I think we do the bare minimum. I think obviously we need to learn our jobs, but then there's the aspect of stuff like that. And I think if nothing more this season, you know, and I'm not saying this is the only ambition, you still need to have targets, but I need to look in May and say, all right, cool, Ramsdale, there's potential there. TONEY, he's tying in with what's going on. All of these young players, I need to see collectively how they tie in, whether they're first teamers, squad players, etc., etc. And I also need to know how we can improve them. And I just want to see clarity, because I need to see a spine of this team. We should, you know, as I said, all of them, the new defenders, and obviously TONEY and obviously Ramsdale in goal. In midfield, you're probably looking at a Partey, Odegaard. Yes, you could have Smith Rowe and Xhaka's probably there. You would probably, for me, like another 8. But obviously, it ties in with what we're doing. So is what it is. I mean, credit to Leno. I don't doubt his professionalism, but the man's always tried to keep it moving. And Xhaka signed a new deal. Bellerin's kept it moving. Listen, you might as well just let Leno go, bro. You know, if you think you can do better, if you think you want to be somewhere else, fair play. You know, he's at the age. I think Leno can go and get a Champions League club, whether he starts. He has said before, at some point he wants to try another league. He's not, he's not a Haylen boy. He never grew up supporting Arsenal. It's just a job. So go and do what you need to do. But for me, I want to see it resolved. Now, he's contracted until 2023. This is clearly a situation that's going to be resolved next season, because it'll have a year left. We didn't spend that much on Leno, and even by Arsenal standards, you should be able to at least break even and whatnot. Obviously, we're a bit difficult in that regard. So it is what it is. Leno might as well be number 2. You know, obviously, Leno might, if he's not liking it, you know, I still think you go off with Germany to the World Cup next year, but he might drag his heels in January and something will be done. And we still need to get rid of a couple 1-2 players in January. But I don't know if it would be smart to let Leno, you know, the Leno, Lacazette, all of these sort of guys leave. I think if you're not going to do that in the summer, probably need to review it next summer. And next summer's going to be filled with a bunch of questions. You know, the jury's still out on Ramsdale. If he's not levels, you need a number 2. You need a keeper. Personally, clearly the club's looking for a striker. Me personally, I would like 2 midfielders, number 8 specifically. So there's still a lot of business to be done, really and truly. Again, if Ainsley Maitland-Niles wants to accept being a squad player, midfield when required, do at right back, then we don't need to revisit that. But potentially, you've got to look at right back. And whatnot, people. You know, that should be next season. We're going ahead, but that's year 2 of the development. So, you know, we need, it's like swimming, you know, and when you throw someone in the pool, they're going to struggle, and then they understand the basics. That's where we're trying to aim for. You know, this just generally come the end of May, we're able to all swim a lap of the pool up and down. Then obviously when we show we're more levels, and if you use the football analogy, the squad developing, then we learn about treading water. And what's the one they did in school? Because I went all the way to the end. What's the one, you know, where they treading water, then they throw something in the water, you have to dive and go and get it and whatnot. them things there. When you advance up the levels, then we do whatever, but we cannot run before we can walk. We need to stick to the script, stick to the basics, and all of those sort of things, man. So yeah, where's the article in relation to Leno? We might as well just pop it off right now, people. In fact, just before we get there, hello from Australia, DG. How are you today? Thanks as always for the show. Zay, I appreciate you. And as I said, bro, I'm good, my guy. Without you lot, you lot gave me, you lot took me out of depression. You lot made me feel there's another chance at life. You lot made me be able to build a future for myself. So again, I'm always thankful for that, and I'm always in a good mood because you lot believed in the guy, in it. So that's it, really. Big up yourself, MR, as well. Messi player, don't do that. You're overselling me. Man said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, introducing the best content creator, head youth scout, top bin taker, man for the people, DG. Messi player, that's big praise. I'm worthy of no titles, man. I'm just happy to be here speaking about what we're speaking about, man. Click the like button, like my guy said, if you haven't done that, really and truly. So yeah, man, what else you saying? Just before I get into the article, there's no rush. I just want to see what you lot are saying, man. Really and truly. We'll get into the Jack Wilshere thing soon. Leno being poor with his feet is weird considering he's a German keeper. History says the opposite. I don't think Leno's poor with his feet. I just think it's Leno's decision making. I think Leno can play. What I think Leno's problems are, he gets he's a bit too eccentric for me, too happy to be off his line. And I've said it before, we can't get Alisson and Edison and them keepers. But for me, just as my opinion, as a football fan, if you're not going to get that bracket, because I think they're the same sort of keeper. They all would like to play midfield. They all want to come off their line. They're all ball playing keepers and whatnot. But them, man, are levels, world-class keepers in today's day and age. That's the only reason I'm prepared to accept some of the stuff that they might do, the occasional dodgy moment from both them keepers. Leno is of the same DNA, but not of quite the same standard. It's like a fake Gucci belt. It's not the same. Leno, and when you got keepers like that, for me, you might as well just go for an old school keeper, or I don't want to say his name, but a keeper at Aston Villa, not to make it about him, but to use him as an example, or even Ramsdale. We don't know if Ramsdale's better than Leno yet, let's be real. But for me, the two names I just said with previously Martinez and Ramsdale, they know their pay grades. They know they obviously have to play out from the back, but they know when the time is. They know they're a goalie. It's like Leno has for me, and I don't have any basis of this purely from what I see. It's like he's got a false sense of his ability. For me, he's he's a good shot stopper, but again, that's probably his best attribute. But for me, as a shot stopper, are you really a good one? If you might save one, but then you palm it into the path of someone to follow up and pull it in a goal. Sometimes goals haven't been his fault, like against Man City, where he really didn't deserve to be dropped, but he thought he could have done better. For me, collecting from crosses, not good enough. Handling, not really good enough. Spreads nervousness without the rest, through the rest of the team. I just feel he's one of those players where, you've got him who's in his own world. 9 times out of 10, Marie, who's in his own world, Bellerin previously in his own world, Chambers, Cedric, whatever. I just feel it's nonsense, really and truly. I don't feel he's vocal enough. Like, that's one thing that I've loved about Ramsdale. The man opens his mouth, he lets people know. You can see that, and that's probably why the fans are gonna rock with him. I don't think Leno's a bad keeper. I think he gets a bad rep, but average sort of ability, doing him a favor, really and truly. You can't hold the club to ransom. You're not that guy. Maybe Arteta has known, these lieutenants or these experienced players, you can't trust them. You should be building a team that is free from Hector Bellerin, who's gone out on loan, Granit Xhaka through the middle of the park, and Leno. These were foundations you built the team on, and it wasn't 30. David Luiz weren't a bad player, but it was flaky foundations. Let's hope Ben White can better that, sort of thing. And, we need to have a new era. So again, Ramsdale isn't the future. I mean, Leno isn't the future. If Ramsdale drops off, then Leno's on his toes. But it is what it is, man. I'm never going to badmouth Leno. I don't think he's a bad keeper. Sometimes I think he's got a bad rep. Like I said, against City, I don't even think he deserved to be dropped, away from the context of giving Ramsdale a chance. I think he could count, in relation to that game, he could probably count himself unlucky, really and truly, man. I think Leno will go back to Bayern Munich. Will go to Bayern Munich or Leverkusen. But I can't lie. I think Leno can go and scumbag away to a Champions League club, really and truly. Same way I just said it with Onana, really. Leno isn't the sort of keeper I can trust as a defender. And yeah, man, sometimes when when your backs are against the wall and your keeper's on it, that can give you positivity and calm your nerves down, even in Sunday League, really and truly. Ramsdale's a passion merchant and he commands his area, and Leno is taller than Ramsdale, still unbelievable. I mean, another human taller than another one doesn't really shock me, my guy, but fair enough. Leno's problems is distribution. Yeah, his kicking is extremely shaky. Can't lie to you, very shaky. Leno done his 3 years. Let him dip and try grab a money for him. Arsenal was probably just a stepping stone for him, really. Yeah, by default, because I think he can upgrade, but I wouldn't quite say stepping stone. But you're right, man. For whatever reason, for me, if guys they're even considering busting out and looking another way, get out, man. You know, or just stop building around them. If I'm completely honest with you. But again, maybe we didn't sell Leno in the summer because, again, on top of everything we've got to do, we've probably got to source another keeper. And we all know it's difficult. It's not difficult, but it's very hard to find a number two, a competent number two. Definitely for Arsenal, because we all know our goalkeeping recruitment is flaky. Hopefully, we've patterned up with Ramsdale, but, you know, Runnison, you know, Leno, you know, you could say all the names down to Szczesny, Fabianski, Ospina, Leno. Again, you know, Runnison. Certain guys have been rubbish. Certain keepers have been all right, and they haven't kicked on. So you're artsing yourself as a fan. What's going on with the development of coaching? Same way I'm pointing fingers at Arteta. If Martinelli don't score goals in the next couple of years, if he's still here, Saka don't know how to take a corner, Smith Rowe, whatever. I'm looking at the goalkeeping coaches, and our goalkeeping coaches, in terms of who they've been recruiting, who they've been scouting, who they've been, you know, whatever, doesn't leave me with confidence. You know, interestingly, imagine that if we got Neto instead, we'd be in a very much different scenario if Edu got his way instead of Ramsdale. So we'll have to see. Ospina, loved that chant. That was just about it. I loved about Ospina. He was, pardon my language, effing shit. When is your next FM video? You're gonna have to stay with me. Make sure you're following on Twitch and you're reviewing the schedule, because, you know, big up O in the chat. I see you as well. Like she just said, the schedule is relentless, so I'm gonna have to find time, really. You know, make sure we're all hitting the like button. There's 300 odd of you locked in. Leno also differs on the ball. Exactly. At least that's what I like about Ramsdale and Martinez. They've got a bit more paranoia. Like every time they play a pass, it has to be spot on or something, or they need to know what they're doing because they're thingy. You know, because they're aware of what they can and can't do. They're aware of their pay grades. Leno has been the least of our problems in the last few reasons. I think you mean seasons. Let's be real. If you're asking me, do I think there's bigger problems than Leno? Of course. You know, if there was many things addressed, you could get away with Leno in goals, similar to Mendy at Chelsea. You could get away with it and recover it. But at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and say, you look at the errors leading to goals and the error proneness, Leno is one of them. There are there's bigger problems. I wouldn't quite say Leno is the least of our worries, because we're trying to build a spine. You need to decide who is the number one. If that's going to be Leno, all right, cool, and he's contracted till 2023, you need to be thinking about a new contract. If that's going to be Ramsdale, all right, cool. He's still got Leno for a couple of months to press him. You know, he's just got onto the shirt. Don't think it's yours up for grabs. So it is what it is. I wouldn't say he's the least of our problems. There are players that should be out the door before Leno. But for me, what bumps Leno up is he's contracted until 2023. You know, he's thingy. He's contracted until 2023, and I don't know for your commitment levels. You know, you're not committed to this thing. It's like Torreira, really and truly. Leno's reflexes are one of the best in the league. Fair play. You know, he can do his thing. Is it really? If you're you're making a great save and palming it into the path of a striker to tap in, I don't know if that's good, man. You know, really and truly. And there's other things, you know, bear keeper's got good reflexes. You need to have other ones, man. Really and truly. We got DG. Backup goalie would be Fraser Foster for me, and he's out of contract at the end of the season. Oh, not really feeling that one. I can't lie, man. And it's been known for a while Leno was leaving. It was known from last summer that Leno was leaving. Arsenal have not renewed his annual housing Tennessee inside info. Boy, you know, Leno has made it clear he wants to dip for a while, and I don't doubt his professionalism. So I think he'll remain professional to the end, and then, you know, it is what it is in the regards of Leno. But in terms of the article, apologies, people, there we have it. One sec. Here we have it. Is that it? Yep. There's many things floating online, but I just thought the first article I saw was from Sammy Mockbell of the Daily Mail. Arsenal goalkeeper Bernd Leno is out in the cold and facing summer exit, with new signing Aaron Ramsdale expected to keep his place in the team. Arsenal are contemplating selling the German goalkeeper next season. I mean, you don't have a choice. You either do what you've just done with Lacazette, or I assume you're going to do with Lacazette, where you're just going to let him run down his deal. Now, we might say, all right, cool, you know what, we can't find a number 2 next season. Leno, you're going to run down your deal. Don't really care what happens past that. It is what it is. We only spent 10, 11 or so million on him. It's not the biggest. Now, for what it's worth, For me, it's about getting rid, but that could be something. Now, I think they sell him next summer, but again, you're going to have to solve Leno's contract next summer. 2023 should be out the door. You need to be thinking of what you're doing with Ainsley Maitland-Niles, contracted until 2023. Torreira, there's a buy option in that deal. It's not for certain. He's going to come back. Bellerin, it's not an obligation as far as I know to Betis. He might come back. Now, you're hoping these clubs want to buy these players and you're hoping they have good things, but that's already 4 areas beyond the obvious. Yeah, you're going to have El Nene, Nketiah, Lacazette, Kolasinac, all of these guys clearing rank, and maybe there's a couple of other names I'm forgetting, but this is what we need to do in September. We need to be kind of knowing, we're not next summer, what we need to do if we're really having a plan. Year 1, we bring in these guys, we do this, we do that. Year 2, we might need a striker, we might this, we might that, and then so on and so forth. And Edu kind of knows that, because he kind of said well, my interpretation in different ways, he was kind of like, this summer we signed however many. He's like, next summer we might sign 1 or 2 or something like that. You know, it's all about where Leno wants to go, really and truly. Wants to leave Arsenal, because I remember we spoke about this, people. We spoke about this. Like we spoke about this, where he said at some point, sorry for coming off the article, but we spoke about this before. This was back in the summer. He was one of 5 senior players looking to leave. For whatever happened, Xhaka didn't leave. You know, staff allegedly were under the impression that Leno was busting out. Whether offers came on the table are 2 different things, people. I think this is the actual article, people, you know. And again, bearing in mind, this is not at the same time, but, you know, I just want you to bear in mind, I'll get the urge to play in another league again. Just bear that in mind, people. I don't want to flee here. I feel good. And for me, for what it's worth, before I continue, if I'm completely honest with you, I'm tired of it with Leno. Just like any other player. It's not to make it a Leno hate campaign, but it's like half of these guys, 1 minute you're staying, then you're going, then you're staying, you're going. The reality is, we finished 8th. It could get a lot worse. If you genuinely don't want to be here, just please keep it moving. It's as simple as that, really, because, you know, it's just average players. I'm not even trying to diss Leno, but it's, bro, you're not 30 like that. Half of these guys that are linked with moves, him, Xhaka, but you're not 30. You're not good today. Anyways, I don't want to flee here. I feel good and want to be successful again with Arsenal. Arsenal, a big club, which is extremely underestimated in Germany. There are many Arsenal fans all over the world. I still have a 2-year contract and hope to play in the Champions League again with Arsenal. Hope. And then he went on to say other things. It's also clear that at some point in my career, I want to do something different. So far, I've played for 2 clubs. Maybe I'll get the urge to play in another league again. Maybe in the South, but there is time. I'm still getting to the top goalkeeping age. Now, if I'm Leno, as I said, I think Leno can play Champions League football. I would look at it and say, well, I'm not getting any younger. I'm playing for Germany. Probably has conversations with his Germany teammates. Not from England, didn't grow up here. Bro, it's calm. It's a job. This is any other walk of life. I can't say hold you for thinking you can do other things. So he's been feeling like this for a while, and there's many other comments. So all I say is just keep it moving, really. It's cool. I ain't got no bad blood. Just bust out. Simple as that. As you lot know, Bernd Leno is, going back to this article, he's facing an uncertain future, with Arsenal contemplating selling the goalkeeper next summer. As you lot know, Mikel Arteta's plans was thrown into doubt on Saturday when the 30 million summer arrival of Aaron Ramsdale was handed a surprise start for the Norwich game. I don't think it's really a surprise, because there was rumours of that. Arteta was, as you know, he was glowing in his praise for Ramsdale. But again, it's a long season where people probably turn on Ramsdale. Apparently, it played this, obviously, with what happened, it places Leno's future at the Emirates under a cloud heading into the rest of the season. There was little chance of the Gunners agreeing to sell Leno in January, even if the 29-year-old does not win his place back in the starting 11. But they would look to do a deal for him next summer if their goalkeeping situation goes according to plan. Sportsmail understands that Arsenal signed Ramsdale with the expectation that he would be number 1 by the end of the season, a scenario that would probably prompt offers for Leno next year. That situation appears, people, to have transpired far more quickly than expected, but nevertheless, it now looks likely the plan will be implemented as Arsenal look to prevent Leno from leaving for nothing in 2023 when his deal expires, as I said. And to be honest with you, Leno starts in the next game, what happens then? Leno might start against Burnley. Leno might not start against Burnley. He's thrown in against Spurs as a great game. I'm not saying that's going to shut up things about his future, but, you know, my point is there's a lot of twists and turns, and half the time players look like they're gone. We've seen it with Maitland. We've seen it with Xhaka, and now they're back, and then they're gone, and then they're back, and then they're gone. You know, I don't blame Leno. As I said, the man's 29. You know, you've got to think about something. You came to this club. Clearly, Arteta wasn't a thing. So you was told one project. It didn't happen. Half of them guys have left. Now there's a next project. So I can't fault you for wanting to keep it moving, Leno. Really, you know, there's no bad blood. It's just for me. Whoever wants to be here, you're here. Whoever don't want to be here, respectfully, F off. It's as simple as that. It's just let us continue with what we're doing. You lot do what you lot need to do, and we move and we move on with life, really and truly. If I'm honest with you, it's as simple as that. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Please make sure you're setting your reminders on Twitch and on YouTube as well, folks, because it's Champions League watch along business. I've just dropped a link. That's the one for YouTube, which is at 7:30, I believe. That's Bayern Munich versus Barcelona. And then obviously on Twitch, we have Young Boys versus Manchester United. I was going to do Salzburg Sevilla for Karim Adeyemi, but Ronaldo in it. So it is what it is. Carl Hein was man of the match for Estonia against Wales. Maybe it's time we give the kid a chance. We should try to get at least 20 million for Leno. I think you're dream chasing with 20 million for the 29-year-old with a year left. At best, you probably get your 10, 15 million quid we spent on him, if I'm completely honest. Carl Hein's a decent keeper. Like you said, he was man of the match, but isn't his own contract is subject to speculation. So it is what it is in that regards, man. Ramsdale is the better keeper. To be fair with you, I'd rather give Ramsdale the opportunity, but I'm not going to go off what Ramsdale's played 180 minutes for Arsenal Football Club. Neither game he's really been tested. To be fair to you, against Wimbledon, West Brom made some saves. Didn't have much to do against Norwich, but he was very vocal. But I ain't learned nothing. It's the same way like TT at right back. I can't get excited. I like him, but I can't get excited off 90 minutes because for me, you only learn how good a goalkeeper is when there's constant pressure, when it looks like the other team's going to concede. I mean, when we're going to concede, when our backs are against the wall. Same with defending. You're not going to learn how good a defender is if they're not being asked questions defending their goal. Everyone can look good when there's no pressure. This isn't me trying to water down the Norwich game. This is just too many conclusions are being drawn. I would rather give Ramsdale opportunities because he has signed for Arsenal. 23, he has signed for Arsenal. He wants to be here. I don't doubt Leno's professionalism, but once again, 29, contemplating, trying other things. All right, cool. You do what you need to do. We're betting on you because we keep doing these things. We keep these guys ingrained within our system to the point where it's not functioning if they're gone. And then whether we hold on to them too long past their expiry date, whether they're injured, whether they suddenly want to leave, it's another thing. But I can't convincingly say Ramsdale is clear of Leno. You know, he's not. I don't know. You've played 90 minutes. Prove it to me. Because I ain't seen you test. I don't know if I think your distribution is better than Leno's. I think your vocalism is better than Leno's. I think he's more calm and collecting from aerial situations, corners and that than Leno's. I think he makes everyone feel calmer than Leno. But I don't know if you're a good shot stopper. And sometimes Leno, unfortunately, has got a bad rep at this football club. If I'm honest with you, there's been enough games. We've lost 3, 4, 5, even to a degree City games. And he's been our man of the match. So I'm not going to disrespect Leno like that. So there's still a lot of decisions. There's still a lot of decisions that needs to be made. And I just think Leno, because of the way he speaks, because of this, he does come across as quite arrogant because of the club just betting on him as head of Martinez and whatnot. There are a bit of pitchforks and there is an element of bad blood with some fans concerning Leno, in my opinion. But I don't know if he's fully the better keeper right now. I don't know if you're clear. I can say Leno's better, he's better. If you're not clear of him, then I can't say you're better because that's what I want to see. Better than Leno. But it is what it is, man. World Cup is next year, and Leno is going to need to be playing to be there. Does he? He's definitely going next summer, despite all that speed talk. I'm taking Jack Wilshere back. I mean, that takes us on to the next one with where Jack Wilshere is concerned, folks. Now, boy, I don't know. Now, on sentiment, I take him back. If there's any other player, I say, what's the point? But just for the young players, just for Hayland, he'd be for that. Now, I don't know if there's proper truth in Jack Wilshere returning and things. We've kind of covered this already. If it's going to happen, let's happen. Like I said, for me, any other player with this injury record and the sentiment, I'm saying don't do it. But it's Jack Wilshere. I think he could do it. And I think, I don't like to be the guy who knows the club and things, but we're dying for that. And we're down to our bare bones in midfield. A fit Jack Wilshere walks into that team. Maybe that speaks volumes of Arsenal since the man's left, really. But Jack Wilshere plans to make contact with Arsenal after Mikel Arteta says doors are always open now. They were former teammates. Jack Wilshere says he will speak to Arsenal in the coming days about the possibility of training with them after Mikel Arteta said our doors are always open. He said, I really enjoyed playing with him, sharing the dressing room with him. To hear him come out and say the door is always open is nice. You're just capping because he's going to give you an opportunity. He didn't enjoy playing with him. He's far too basic for that. I think that can only help me, as you said, being around good players, training with world-class players, and as well, just being in the team environment is something that I'm interested in. I'm sure I'll have that conversation with someone at the club in the next few days, and hopefully he can take a leaf out of, I'm sure at one point, Kolo Toure, Sol Campbell, I don't know, actually not sure on Colo, but I'm defo sure for Sol Campbell, eventually trains with the team, under Wenger, and then he gets a short-term deal. So I wouldn't mind that, at least, give him a pay as you play until January or something. Keep the man's we're not a charity, but keep the man's levels up. He could be a competent option until the end of the season, and because we're not going to bring in a midfielder, we shouldn't be in that, man. They ain't riding for the badge, they can dust. It's not even that for me. It's like, if you think you can do better, go and do better, because I want commitment to yourselves. I share your opinion. I want guys that are committed to the badge. I want men that fight for the fans, all of this stuff. But what I've seen for years, what I have seen this season, is players that don't play for themselves. If you don't have self-respect, you can't respect however many thousand fans in the stadium, And let's be real, as much as we're a family and they're fans, they're strangers. Man, I don't know you from nowhere. If you're a player, I don't know you from nowhere, So if you can't perform for yourself, how are you going to play for random strangers? It don't make sense. I need to see pride in performances. I want to see goalies dying to get clean sheets. The defenders dying to want to shut up the best players in the league and things like that. And the rest according to positions. I don't need to name them all out. So it's one of them ones, really. Pride's on the line. I wasn't going to speak about it, but it's nothing new. But again, this should, for me as an Arsenal man, this should hurt you as a player, because everybody fancies you. Ivan Toney, he is quite confident and has a lot to say on the best of days. So when they travel to the Emirates, I hope you pump them. You got to want to pump them. And for Pablo Marie, sadly Ben White in that game, Chambers, for all of you who played against Chelsea prior to the win against Norwich, but this is something you lot should think about. Because if he's saying that, half of Brentford are saying that, and half of the footballing world is saying that. How many people have said this? I just didn't see them how they used to be, because we're not that. Ivan Toney has launched a brutal attack on Arsenal by playing down his side's victory over the Gunners last month, saying Mikel Arteta's side won't win anything anytime soon. This is a man who basically, he couldn't get a game at Newcastle. He's rebuilt his career at Brentford. All the was he's talking, for all the talk, he's hardly lit the league up. But he still finds time to want to chat on you lot. So you lot as Arsenal players, you should feel like horse crap. How? How? He didn't score, but he had a quality game and he's a quality player. But he should have no right to talk on you lot's names. But he deservedly so. Scrolling all the way down, he bullied you, man. Scrolling all the way down, people. He told Baller Talk, Arsenal fans are going to batter me for this, but you see Arsenal at the moment, they are not the best. We know this. There was a difference between the Championship and the Premier League. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't crazy. Like, if you make a mistake, it's going to end up in the back of the goal. See what happens when you're toothless against teams. Because you handed those goals to Brentford. With respect to Brentford, because Brentford did their thing, you lot should feel like crap. Ivan Toney thinks he's levels. Come on now. He ain't going to say that crap when he goes against City, against Chelsea and all these guys. One love to him, but you lot should want to give him hell when he comes to the Emirates. And that's one thing that annoys me. That I don't think Socrates or Gabriel Paulista were good enough at all. But one thing I liked about them is they weren't on getting bullied. They were on moving to, man. And our defenders are way too nice. He also said, but it wasn't crazy. If you make a mistake, it's going to end up in the back of the goal. I didn't really see that. They were good at keeping the ball, but it didn't really affect us. Again, training session, they weren't as crazy as I thought they would be. I don't know if it was whether they weren't so good or we were just excited, as it was our first game and it was Arsenal and the Premier League. All these things coming into the picture. I mean, it was everything, really. He's not said anything wrong. I just didn't see them how they used to be. Used to look at Arsenal and think they were crazy. And again, to win this game. These days, I don't see them winning nothing anytime soon. Half of you won an FA Cup 18 months or so ago. This guy just about rebuilt his career at Brentford and Peterborough and things. The way he's chatting on you when he plays City and them, man, he's not going to say none of this. With respect to Ivan Toney. And he's not lying there. At the point of the conversation, he paused and saying, until they get a striker. Rah, boy. You see, Aubameyang, he's talking on you. How dare you? You know, yeah, he fired 33 goals and he takes a slow penalty and whatnot. But how the way he's chatting on you, lot, boy. Big up Ivan Toney because it's, you know, remove the name. People say this about you, man. And this is what I'm saying about self-respect. You know, you need pride in yourselves because he's not going to say that against Rudiger. If Chelsea had a bad game and that happened against Rudiger, the next game, bro, you're getting ripped. It's that simple. Everyone thinks you're a soft touch. Everyone thinks they can score or have a good game against you. And this is why I said we need people that want to be here and want to play and want to make a difference. I don't doubt Leno's professionalism once again. But if you don't want to be here, if you're not committed, if you're not playing for yourself, pardon my language, fuck off out of this club. And it's away from Leno now because last time I checked, we're eighth. We were eighth. We finished eighth. We finished back-to-back eighth. There's a lot going wrong with this football club. The minimum is that people want to be here. They want to impress. And that's why we might go against a time where these guys want to leave. But at the moment, you can see these new recruited players want to be here. Smith Rowe, Saka, Martinelli, they're still under naiveties of playing for Arsenal, getting first-team football. The penny might drop eventually, but you get the point. So it's one of them ones, man. Ivan Toney didn't lie. Completely disrespected you lot. And and them things there, that should give you the hump. Because if he's saying that, what's everyone else saying? Yeah, you beat Norwich. You buck Norwich at Carroll Road. It's going to be a different game, 100%. Oh, boy. And that's a man talking bossy, a man that's done fuck all in this Premier League, you know. A man that has done F-all. And I like Toney. I'm not trying to make this a hate campaign. I think he's not lying, but the man ain't done nothing in the league, you know. Why on earth has he got this divine right to speak on Arsenal? Man's got 1 goal in 4 appearances, and you know what? If you can get 10, I think you've done all right. But he is, regardless of what happens, he saw fit to talk on you lot's names. Boy. That's all I've got to say, people. 129 likes, but there's 482 of you locked in. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. If you have not hit the like button, unexpected higher bills, people are due, and Arsenal will not improve. So make sure you're hitting the like button. We should at least be able to get 200 or so likes, man. So yeah, what else are we saying? May every club, so love for the super chat first and foremost. May every fan, every club and players are mocking us. The mocking don't affect me no more, you know. It doesn't affect me. It's now, what are you lot gonna say? Because these lot can chat. You lot what are you lot now gonna do about it? Make sure you remember what he's saying when you buck Brentford, whenever that is. Brother's got way too much talk. Watch him get relegated. To be fair with you, that is true, but it's just sounding sour, bro. He shut man up, bro. It's coming up to game week 5 after the international break, and he's chatting about game week 1. Arsenal are just an easy target. Exactly. You think these men could be talking about 98s or the Invincibles? Like, bro, it's not even that. Half these teams in the Prem, teams that ain't won nothing, you can't chat like that. You know, you lot didn't make it difficult. You lot behaved like a bunch of pussycats against him. No wonder he thinks he's bossy. He thinks he's Jogba. You know, depending on if he's able to score double figures in the league, he might be exactly like Jogba. I love Jogba, but I see a couple of Chelsea fans. I gotta do it, people. Is what it is. Speaking with chess, people, and that's what you like to see. Speaking with his chess. He's not wrong at all. And that's what should make them feel like ish. That third goal wouldn't have happened if that second goal wouldn't have happened if Ramsdale was on goal. I mean, there's a poor sequence of play. You know, there's 2 terrible goals. I don't think it matters who is in goal. There's going to be calamitous goals we concede with Ramsdale. You know, it's always the player who isn't playing at Arsenal that is seen as the messiah. You know, when half of these players have all played and been part of ridiculous performances. Really. Didn't say anything wrong. And his Dini flex, exactly. To set yourself high standard, have to have some pride. If some of these players, if I see some of these players, it's on site, but all that family business, PMAV, you know damn well you ain't gonna do nothing when you see these players, bro. You're gonna ask for a picture, man. Allow it, bro. I love you, but you know you ain't gonna do nothing, and there's no need to do anything. And I mean, what are you gonna hope to do? I always like Jack, but I can't see where he fits in Arteta's team. Also, his creativity has dropped over the years. Personally, just because you play in the middle of the park and just because he wants to get on the ball, I think he could do a lot better than a lot of them. But yeah, man, I hear you. Do you think Ramsdale gets hate because of his quality as a keeper or because of the teams he's played for? Probably both, but I haven't seen much Ramsdale hate of late. But you know, the pitchforks will be out, man. What else have we got? Facts. Bro, Jack's just coming back on loan. I mean, man said on loan. He's just coming to train. Hopefully, he gets a move, and then he's able to take it from there, folks. But yeah, man. Apparently, Reece Nelson's picked up a 1-2 injury. You know, let's go. Reece Nelson, Balogun's brother. Apparently, Balogun's brothers had a lot to say. Well, nothing really. He's been speaking. He tried to get Jadon Sancho to join Chelsea, and it didn't bang in it. And I mean, he needs to give his brother good advice because again, I hope Balogun plays a lot of football. But right now, you know, you got into the England's under 21 side. You and Nketiah are playing for playing against Manchester United's 23s. You know, I would have pushed to sign a new deal, potentially gone out on loan. But let's see how much football Balogun plays between now and January, and the situation's got to develop. What I feel sorry for with Balogun is that we don't create. You've seen it. It doesn't matter who's up front; they're not getting nothing. But you know, Folarin Balogun's brother criticizes Mikel Arteta's tactics at Arsenal, and you know his brother's his own man. But you've got to think about it. Agents and brothers are not gonna come out and say things to harm their family members. Sometimes they do, but to my knowledge, and it's just come out, Balogun hasn't said anything to go against it. Fair enough, he's a naive player, naive young man, and he's allowed his brother's his own man with his own opinions. But they're going to echo the sentiment. And I mean, a blind man could see, it doesn't matter who's up front, you're starving. We've seen Martinelli, Lacazette, Aubameyang, and Balogun against Brentford. There's no service, really and truly. It don't work. There's no creation of chances. It's a poisoned position being a striker at Arsenal Football Club. Look at the goal we scored against Norwich. It's scummy. He's tired, really and truly. We won the game, but we was tired. Like, let's be honest. But Balogun's brother believes Mikel Arteta's tactics were to blame for the striker's struggles in Arsenal's defeat to Brentford at the start of the season. As you lot know, he was handed his debut. The 20-year-old failed to make an impact, got hooked after 59 minutes. And to be fair, he's going to be out of his comfort zone. He said, it was his time. It was totally deserved. It wasn't by luck or by chance. He fully deserved that chance. I mean, circumstances fell to him in that there was injuries. But yeah, man, luck. I think luck meet when talent and hard work meet. You get that luck with injuries. Like when Rashford bust you at United, there was 1-2 injuries, took your place. Now look, you're feeding the kids. Big up Rashford. So Balogun did deserve it. But yeah, man, and I've said it, Balogun needs to be out of his comfort zone. There's no point waffling about these players badding up under 23s games and scoring against players and defenders they've been playing their whole life. You need to be out your comfort zone. Whether you're playing top level defenders or championship defenders, people that are stronger than you. This is what Balogun's needed for a while. And then when you're just, you know, the fans are just sitting there and lapping it up, it is quite ridiculous. It was a good game for him. It was a baptism of fire. I think it was something he needed. He needed to see that this is the level. And I think if Arteta was 30, he would have done that for Balogun towards the end of last season, so that a man could see in pre-season the levels what I have to work on. You know, I need, you know, Balogun's a good player, but again, one thing I need to learn with Arteta is what is the plan for Balogun, Martinelli, you know, Smith Rowe, Odegaard, Ben White, all of these young players. Some are younger than others, some have more experience, but how are you going to take them into the players of tomorrow? I think him going through that really showed he's just started. It's just the beginning. There's always the next step. To me, you've never made it until you retire. Until I always said you're not a player, and for me, anyways. And I'm not a player, but I don't think you're a player until you've played 100 games for a club, really. And even then, it could be gazy because I think Callum Hudson-Odoi has that for Chelsea. Unless you're finished and you can sign off and say, this is my career, my stats, my numbers. That's when you say you can see you've made it. You've done your career. I think the tactics and the system, I'm not going to say much, but to see him on the pitch, I was really proud of him. It was a baptism. Sorry. He really learned it's not under 23s. These are the people who are really going for it. They want your head. Even the way they were dragging him about, you could tell. After the game, you could tell he was really angry. He wasn't panicking. It was more, I need to step up. The next day, he was angry, but he was like, we go again. We go train and we keep going. And that's it. You know, that's all we can with Balogun. But that's where I blame Arteta, because that could have been done at the end of the season. Now, he probably still would have struggled against Brentford, but you could have had your chance. It's tough being in the limelight, and especially with that kind of fame. How I realized it, I'm just a normal boy compared to my brother. After the game, my brother was like, I couldn't go out. I couldn't step out my house. We lost. If I step out, people are going to come to me and ask questions, and he's going to have to learn to deal with that. It's weird when I think about it. It's true. People are really invested in this, but this is someone's life. I know he's a footballer, it's a job, but he's trying his best. What can you do? Especially when sometimes I don't want to go in, but it's not necessarily you as a player who's struggling. It's more the system around you. That's also true. But at the same time, I don't think anyone would have got onto Balogun. You know, we could see you're a young man, you're out of your depth, really and truly. And I think out of Arsenal fans, that's where they've got the most time for these young G's. But he said, when you look at the striker problem, turns of chances created, it's not just Folarin. It's there when Martinelli was playing there, when Aubameyang was playing there. The system doesn't work. You can't blame one player for that. It's more the actual systemic thing. I don't think anyone's blaming Balogun. Whenever I talk to Balogun, I tell him to keep going, but the system just doesn't really work at the moment. Soon it will work. There will be movement. You've got to be ready when it does. At the same time, there's nothing really can do. You just have to support, keep on talking, and keep on telling him to keep maintaining. And I mean, that's it. Balogun, you've got it now. Everybody loves you. No one gives a shit now. You know, the same people that were saying, oh, Balogun, this and that, they'll be the first to call you overrated. That's how football works. Same way they turn on Joe Ainsley. They're going to do it for Martinelli. No one loves you in this football thing. And the quicker man realize that, the better. You know, it's not fun and games. Everybody gassing you on social media and scoring 1,000 goals against nobodies and whatnot. The real business has started, and we're gonna see what thing he's on. Arteta is on, because he's having to show something. And I mean, I'm at the point now, Balogun, if you don't play 20, 30 games, or you haven't played significantly, and we can't look back and say, yeah, it's been a year of real development, you have to blame yourself, because Arteta and the club are going to tell you everything under the sun to get you to sign that new deal. So it is what it is where that's concerned, people. I forgot to completely speak about Reiss Nelson. So yeah, let me share my screen once again. Hit the like button if you haven't. 529 of you here. We should at least have 300 likes. As you lot can see here, the Feyenoord manager has criticised the intensity of Mikel Arteta's training sessions after Reiss Nelson suffered an injury in the early stages of his loan. Scrolling all the way down, initial reports in the Netherlands suggested Nelson was lacking match fitness, but his gaffer has confirmed he's sidelined with an injury. He said Nelson had participated in almost all training sessions at Arsenal, but he experiences the training here as a bit more intense. He suffered an overuse injury, so he's not here. Whether he will make it to PSV remains to be seen, at least not as a starting player. So we wish the best for Reiss Nelson to get fit, but it doesn't look good, does it, people? So yeah, we'll have to see what happens there, really. So that's Reiss Nelson. So again, it's nothing serious. Well, it is, but it's nothing serious. Hopefully he can get fit sooner than later and have a good season. He needs a clean break, if I'm honest with you. A clean run sort of thing. There's that. That's Leno. Sorry, folks, I'm just clearing up all of this ish. Wow, we were steady moving through all of this, innit, people? Bloody hell. One love to everyone that's been cracking on. We've been moving good here, people. Appreciate everybody locked in, man. What are you lot saying? The engagement levels are quite good, man. You see, Barca are interested in Patino like they was in Sanchez, like they was in Frimpong, you know. All right. All Feyenoord players were complaining about the intensity of the manager's training sessions. Jason, I need to find that. Where did you get that from? So I'd love to see, but this is where Arsenal should have done their due diligence. What is the guy's training sessions like, and how could the workload be, man? In relation to Balogun, I don't think his family should be talking. I ain't seeing other young players' families chatting. I agree with it, though. Subi, that's not true. Bare people's family be talking. But at the same time, I hear that, though. It's not smart. Because as we said, it echoed, you know, if I'm Arteta, where if you think that, you know, you're your old man, but does Balo think that? But it's just outside noise, man. I can't lie. If Balogun got a few starts at the end of last season, he would have played 10 times better against Brentford. I mean, coulda, woulda, shoulda. He might not have, but I definitely feel that, you know, as I said, you look at Martinelli against West Bromwich Albion last season. Balogun, they need that. You know, it's like Greenwood at United. It's not going to be a wavy thing every game. Sometimes back to goal, you're going to be a young man against a grown man that you're just going to get physically moved to. And it's down to you to counteract that. You know, Balogun, you can't expect him to do much because you don't know that these things you don't know, you know. Again, what I'm happy now is eventually, you know, once you're on that field, there's no false sense of ability. You see exactly your level. Now, like we said, there's no chances really being given, but he's probably learnt more than he ever did in any training session, really and truly, or playing these Dundalks. And let's be real, with respect to them, nobody's, it's not the same. Ella, so far you've missed. I don't know when this. It's not showing me the time this was sent, but I believe you've missed quite a lot, really. So yeah, you're gonna have to catch the timestamps. I think you've missed quite a lot. You've missed Jack Wilshere, Ivan Toney, and obviously Leno. Imagine the mentality in the dressing room for newly promoted striker mock the Invincibles. Boy, we'll have to see, man. Folks will be saying some interesting comments flowing, people. Keep them coming, folks. DG bang on, the critics after his first game were the ones crying out for him last year. And that's why this is why I hate football fans, because, you know, obviously it's not their job to watch young players, but, you know, these same fans wanking over Charlie Patino. He has a shaky game, overrated. Balogun, overrated. This guy, overrated. It's like Saliba. Saliba probably could play for Arsenal Football Club, but he's not what certain people say he is right now, you know. What a ball from Guimaraes in the Salzburg game. The highlights are on. But he's not where he is right now. They call him overrated. Half these guys that chat this bullshit don't watch these players. They were doing it with Reece Nelson. Clearly, I'm passionate because I love these young footballers and I like to see development. And people don't really underestimate how hard it is to play football there, how high the levels are, and how, you know, the young man trying to get consistency is crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy, man. I can't lie. Eddie looks very dangerous on the left. He's hungry. Should be given a chance at left wing. No. No. I hear you. No. No. Sort out your move on a free in the end of the season or do what you need to do. That's a no. So no wonder he said something like this. I live in the Netherlands, bro. I hear that. I live in the Netherlands, DG. Jason, I appreciate that, but where did you? I just want to do my own research. Where did you hear the manager at Feyenoord? I mean, the players have concerns or whatever was said about that. You know, if I live in London, if I hear that about Spurs and I'm here talking this, I need to provide it. I would like to do my own research to get some sort of picture. So where did you find that? No worries, Ella. I mean, I'll help you out. You know, I'll give you a timestamp. 28:56 to 30:30. I mean, he's not going to be homegrown. Saliba's French. He's not homegrown, bro. I mean, I've just offered my opinions on Jack Draw. I've just offered a timestamp gold there. If you need that. Mika, I'm good, man, and I hope you're doing better. Keep up the work, bro. You find scouting job. Come on, appreciate that. Not sure if that's the case, but appreciate that. Really do, man. One love to everybody. Engagement is doing well. Damn, that's unlucky for Nelson. Injuries are part and parcel, but the man needs a clear run now, man. He needs a clear run, 30 himself and things. I don't think Balogun will ever be Arsenal level. Time will tell. I'll back the lad. I really want him to be, but we don't know. Really, we don't know. Really don't know. Hopefully he can do it. If not, then the man should be sold, innit? It's not that deep. If he doesn't make it, get a decent profit for him and the club keeps spinning. But he's still a young man, and you know, you look at the top goal scorers in the Premier League, you know, really and truly. Where was Salah at 22? I mean, at his age, he weren't doing that. You know, where was Vardy? Where was Kane? Very few men are on the scene, 19 years of age, just bagging mad goals. You know, Greenwood, he's on the scene. He's gone through trials and tribulations. And it's not like every season he's going to score or has scored 20 league goals. You know, I think people really underestimate. Where was Aubameyang them ages? So we have to allow him, but at the same time, he needs to show that he can make it really and truly. So, yeah, it's one of them, man. Who would you replace if Leno goes? I mean, you need to look for a number two. Who that number two is, I can't sit here and say. I don't know. I'd have to really think. But I think let's just see what Ramsdale's got, man. I want every Haaland lad to succeed. I mean, succeeding doesn't always mean making it necessarily at Arsenal, and definitely not shoehorning them into the team, bro. Certain men are going to become first teamers, whether that's first names on the team sheet, regulars, rotation options. Certain players are going to do that for a while and then need to be sold. Certain players are not going to make that and going to have to go elsewhere and just continue their career. You know, I think Balogun's not already made it because you can't get complacent, but he's come all the way from the academy. He's got a first team number. He's played a Premier League game. That's the goal of what we have under nines for, so that people can progress to the first team. And he's graduated. Now he's not there yet. He ain't got 10 games to his hand, but you get the point. That doesn't mean just carry people on people. Other people develop at different rates. Exactly. I don't think he's going to be Jogba, but Jogba, 25 years of age. Mendy, I swear Mendy, the goalkeeper at Chelsea, was all saying I was going to move away from football. Sam Johnson's contract is up next season. Wouldn't be surprised to see coming in as a backup if Ramsdale solidifies himself as a number one. Jamie, that's a good shout. I can't lie to you, Jamie. That's a very good shout. You know, why not? You know, I don't know if he'd be happy to be on the bench because you did hear some rumors that he doesn't really want to sit at the bench at this age in his career, but that could be calm, homegrown, steady Eddie, does his thing. What were your thoughts on the Norwich game? Please go to my other live streams and see it. Just happy we won. Pardon me. DG, what do you think of the 4-3-3 tactics when Partey and Smith Rowe came in? I mean, I love 4-3-3 and variations of it, so why not, man? Is a more experienced keeper necessary to replace Leno? Not necessarily necessary, but I would like it. Why not? Why not just get an experienced pair of hands? What's the point getting another young G and then, he's going to need to play games to develop and all of this sort of stuff. Another one we let run his contract down. Pure L's are not the kind that make you feel nice. Bro. Facts, DG needs to play against different op. We need to see him against a better team that presses, but his distribution looks better already, especially on long passes. To be honest, DG, I prefer Ramsdale as he gives more options and plays for the badge with passion. I mean, Mohamed, I think we're getting excited off of one game, but I do agree. I mean, not you, but this was the logic, that had Arsenal fans saying Pablo Mari's the best in the world, man. Are you sure Saliba won't qualify for being homegrown because of his age? He signed for similar to Bellerin. He can't qualify as homegrown. I mean, you lot can do your research, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But Saliba's not homegrown. He's literally not homegrown. He hasn't even stayed in the country long enough, people. But yeah, man. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. There was certain things saying he could be classed as one next season and that, but I don't know, man. You'd have to ask the thingy man. Hopefully, he can be. If he can be classed as homegrown, that makes it easy and even other chance of playing him. So probably I'm wrong, but to my knowledge, he's not in it. Even though I just want to see him play next season. And personally, I don't think Arteta fancies him, man. I really don't think Arteta fancies him. So I think that's a myth. And that's another one. You should be giving that man a new contract from now. Already, you should be sorting out these contracts. Even if you don't want Saliba to make it here, you should be sorting out his contract just so that, if you loan him out again or whatever, you're in a strong negotiating position, man. So yeah, man, we'd have to see. I mean, that should be for another video. Arsenal 2023 contract. I think that could be another video idea, to be fair with you. Bring in Jack. We need the fighting spirit. Listen, DG, Leno is like Xhaka, good but not good enough. Ramsdale and Martinez are better than Leno. Ramsdale is certainly more aggressive than Leno. That Brentford goal, that second goal wouldn't have happened if Ramsdale wasn't in goal. I don't know if that's true because you're gonna see Ramsdale part of conceding calamities as well, but fair play. Loan report soon coming where I'll speak on that. Do you think Arteta and the players feel pressure after a narrow win on the weekend? Probably like a weight being lifted off their shoulders, but they should still feel pressure because where have we gone? Is Saliba represented by Chirapkin people? No, by some French brother. Would you have taken Matt Ryan? Yeah, to be fair with you. DG, do you think Ainsley Maitland-Niles has the ability to start in midfield, or do you think he should be content with the right back row? I can't lie, money. Unless it's one of them ones where, you know, we can, with respect to Norwich, you should be able to get away with things like that. And there might be cup games and that. Unless it's that, then, or something dramatically happens in Ainsley Maitland-Niles' midfield development. So no, for me, dog, I can't lie. It's not that he doesn't fit in. It's like, what do you stand out for? Like, what are you as a midfielder? You run about. I can't praise a midfielder for running about. Like, what are you? Like, he needs to have some definition. But yeah, I would prefer for him to just do the hybrid, filling where required, or just play right back, really and truly, man. Do you think Arsenal lack that killer instinct? It's not that I think. If you've got two eyes, you're seeing it, man. I think Saliba had to play a certain amount of games to be classed as homegrown. I don't know, man. You man need to put a bit of respect on Leno because he has saved us many times. Also true, but this is a fan base that turned on Aubameyang away from constructive criticism, completely rewrit history. They were praising him for being a leader after still maintaining his professionalism in the last couple of months for his contract when everything was going on. The minute he stopped scoring, he's not professional. He's this and that. That's the world we live in. People don't care about what you've done. It's what you're doing. It's a results business, man. Who do you want to see playing the Wimbledon game? I want to see Patino. I would love to see any young G. I would like to see Patino get an opportunity. Balogun get a start. Why not, man? Really and truly. Maybe Eddie gets some minutes if he's fit, just to hope that someone might take a chance on buying him in January. Can't even scream Miguel Aziz because he's not here. He'll be homegrown at 21. So that's great then, isn't it? Yeah, he'll be homegrown then. Which, again, should make it easier for us. Man said no European football this week. How does it feel? Brother, my team is playing tomorrow. Allow me. We're doing our thing. Messi, my gaffer Pochettino already said that Messi's playing in that game. So I don't know what you're on. Who you're trying to insult, Vanessa. I don't know what I'm going for that, Jamie. I don't know where he's going with that one. Vanessa, you can't finesse me, man. A Concu too. Nah, I'm not really that fast. I'd love any Haaland player to play, but I think that young lad's probably better served going out on loan. He's like a fish out of water. If I'm completely honest with you, he looks a bit shaky. I like him, but he looks shaky. I'm talking in comparison strictly to first team level. If you look shaky, you look shaky. Please hit the like button, people. We're still not at 300 likes. We're at 243. There's 500 odd of you locked in. Anyone who doesn't hit the like button, unexpected high bills, gonna catch their baby mama or baby daddy cheating on them, and they're probably gonna get fired. I can't lie. You hit the like button, you're winning. You're becoming a millionaire. Arsenal signing that player you really want. Would you take Ollie Watkins? Nah. I don't think Ainsley Maitland-Niles is trash, but opinions are there. I like the combat DG, hilarious. But I don't know. I'm in Europe. Last time I checked, bro, I live in England. Well, we are in Europe, but we aren't in Europe. So I don't know where I'm going for that one, man. Big up yourself, B. I know he plays for, and I know he does play for Arsenal, but how you react when Eduard bagged 2 against Tottenham? What? Don't understand what you're saying there, my dude. But if you ask me how it looked to see Eduard get a brace against the Spuds, then of course anyone who does something for the Spuds. Hey, Vanessa, you gotta wake up a bit earlier than that, my guy. But love for the bench, man. Acting like I weren't born in France and that. Would you have wanted Arsenal to get Anguissa for centre mid before he went to Italy, or do you prefer to have Lokonga there? Hutchinson has to play, looks brilliant at finishing career. I would love a couple of them to get on the score sheet, but I can't lie, man. You might as well just go with an experienced side, man. If I'm completely honest, man. Some weirdos in this chat, but Kamara from Marseille, I like him, but nah, man. Probably, but that's another man. If Arsenal sign Isaac, that's another one that's not the finished article, and you have to work with him. I don't know if we're gonna work with him. If you ain't working with Martinelli and Balogun and showing me things, I don't really know what you're gonna do with Isaac. Now, if you're gonna spend 60, 70 million pounds on a man, you're gonna have no choice, no choice but to. Sander Burge, leave it at, man. I think that one there's gone, man. Big up DG on Ramsdale. My brother-in-law is a Bournemouth fan and said Ramsdale can be amazing for a couple of games, then error prone for the next couple. Do you think the idea of players only going on loan to Prem teams, only us, overrated, and dropping down the league is underrated? For example, Reece Nelson could have gone to a top champ side instead of wasting a year. Obviously, the longer you go and you stay in the big leagues, the more questions you answer. But I think it's not really about the leagues. Obviously, it's about the team you're going into. What is that gaffer like? What's that gaffer like as a person? What formations does he do? How is his record with young players? Are they going to play to his strengths? And then it becomes that. What's the philosophy of the club? Because same way I think Saliba should have went to the Premier League, could have went Germany. I'm not against France. I think at one point when he was linked with Brentford when they were in the Championship and that, I think that was a good avenue to explore, if I'm completely honest with you, where you could get games for a defender. You can learn some harsh lessons in the Championship. DJ, it might not be your thing, but would you ever do a series on FIFA 2022 career mode? Buy me PS5, you can have what you want. To be fair, it just looks like Jack Wilshere is going to be thingy, just simply training with the team. Would you take a gamble on Martial for 30 million? Yeah. Why not? I like Martial. Probably have to let couple man go. Big up the Antigans locked in. Appreciate you, my dude. Man said he's Chelsea. You might get blocked for that. I was just bigging you up. You might get blocked for that. International teams only. Someone asked how the cinnamon buns are. They're quite nice, my guy. They're quite nice still. You can't even see. Quite nice. Mate, it's too big. I bit off way too much there, but sorry, people. Why in the world is Balogun not on loan with no Europe, looking like 2 wasted seasons? To be fair with you, it looks like Balogun's content to stay and fight for the team, man. Keep up the good work. Get Kevin Campbell on. Love for that. I mean, I did DM him once. He aired it, so it is what it is. Man, eating like William. No. IKEA. Do you think Odegaard is the guy that can take us forward? And what do you think about his performance against Norwich? I think his pressing is underrated. I don't know, man. I think if Odegaard weren't a pretty boy, people would respect him a bit more. Sorry, people, I can talk normally now. Apologies. I don't think Odegaard's the best defender in the world, but I just think because he's a pretty guy, blonde hair, blue eyes, a bit of a soft youth, creative player. I don't think people give him and I'm not saying he's the best defensively in the league and all of those things, people. I just think his pressing and his willingness to do the dirty work, a bit like Smith Rowe's, a bit underrated. Of course, it's not going to be no Roy Keane stuff, but I think defensively, that's one thing I like the most about Odegaard. I still need to know, can you dictate the tempo of the game? Can you try get 10 goals, 10 assists? That's what all these attacking players should be aspiring to do. Whether the system and what Arteta does enables them to do it is another thing. So, yeah, it's one of them, man. If I'm completely honest. DG with madness covering mouth. See you put up right. Appreciate that, man. One love to Bobby and Daddy, of course, man. Hey, I might not be too. I don't think I'm too old to get beats if my mom sees me carried on certain sort of ways, man. Like, come on, and it's just, bro. Why would I want everyone to see it inside of my mind and things flying? So yeah, man. Like Lukaku. Appreciate the South Africans. Do we sell Chambers and Holding next season? I'm thinking we cash in. I can't lie. I think you sell Chambers, but then again, you could keep Chambers as an option at right back, centre half. He's there for the squad. He's got a year left. Holding's just signed the new deal. So personally, I think they're going to clip Holding, probably would. I mean, clip Chambers probably never been a better time. You clip Chambers, clip Marie, but then again, Marie might be able to stay on the experience thing. But yeah, man, I think Holding stays. The other two probably get clipped, really. But all three should probably be allowed available, man. Odegaard has the most successful pressures and kilometers covered per 90 in our front four by some distance since he joined us. Again, the work rate's good. For me, it's like, all right, the work's there. Show me you can do the attacking stuff, but I really like it. It's not consistent from Odegaard, in my opinion, enough, but I like it. We need players to show passion, show the passion Socrates did even when he made just a good tackle. I mean, Collagen, that Socrates, Xhaka, they got passion. They're just shit. That's the thing. When we get players that got passion, Gabriel Palista, they just move mad and carry on mad. We get good players that are soft. Yeah, we never get everything, man. Never too big to hold it hit G. You're right, man. That shit's gone. Someone's comment's gone. Apologies, man. Conga is a pretty boy, but look is working. I don't think the Conga's looks like a pretty boy at all. He looks exactly like a number 6. Honestly, name 3 players that Arteta has improved. I don't think there's evident ones, but I can't lie. I think he's improved Pepe's all-round game. Pepe's not up there for stats, but I do think he's improved him defensively. I do think there's been an improvement in Holding. I do think there's been and then the last 2 is, in fact, all 3 of them shaky. I do think, if anything, Xhaka still has those mistakes, but Arteta has probably covered them up less. Like, his mistakes last season were more spaced out. Do I think his levels? Of course not. But yeah, man, that's that. Bro, I am the best thinks I was born yesterday, guys. You know, thoughts on this player from Celtic? I don't know, man. I'd have to ask your mum for an elite scouting report, really and truly, man. She's a good dribbler. She'll be able to teach someone else. But yeah, man, I rate how you tried that, man. You gotta come on now, man. Come on now, bro. A man tried it. I like the innovativity there, man. You know, you tried it. I like that, man. What you should be doing is applying that to your life and thinking outside the box and trying to better yourself, man. Man's an idiot. You gotta wake up quicker than that. I had my coffee, man. I can't lie. You catch me, you know, maybe early in the morning when I've had a lot of streams, you might catch me. I miss Coquelin as well, but he weren't good enough. Real Madrid won the lottery by selling Odegaard to Arsenal for so much money. To be fair, 30 million euros isn't exactly that much. Is there something to be said for conserving energy when you're playing, Cam? You don't want to waste it chasing all the ball all over the field, really. So you're right on that. Maria's a Jerupkin signing. They've all been failures, including Edu. To be fair with you, as much as I might agree with the agents and stuff, the agents don't put guns to these guys' heads, you know. Edu Arteta have to sanction it, or whoever at the club has to sanction it. So, yeah, man. You know, as much as I say these are agent signings and stuff, it's not the agent who signs the I's and dots the T's and gives them their pass so that they can come under the premises and that at their new role, sort of thing. Do you think we should keep a back 4 switch to a 3? I think whether, you know, listen, I think we should be able to play both. I still think there should be a base level of performance with both. Personally, I'd rather right now, I'd rather stay with a 4, but if we're going to a 3, can we just do it properly and not keep switching it? Because I just feel right now, at least for the next 3 to 4 games, if we're going to hope to turn things around, we need to just, you know, not try and differ too much from the lineup, not trying to change up things. When we're doing well, when we're in a better form, by all means, start putting players in different roles, start giving opportunities, start doing the mix and match thing. But I just feel right now we need to go back to basics and just find something that works and stick with that for a second. Nah, to be fair, I hear you, but I don't think conserving energy is gone, because you still, you know, centre mids don't run around for all 90 minutes, and if they do, they're not good enough centre mids. You know, you look at everyone in the Prem that's half decent. You look at the spaces they take up. After watching our first 4 games, can you identify our style of play? If so, what is it? No, I can't. No, I can see little bits and pieces, inverted right back, bombing down the left, this guy moving, that guy moving, but it's not evident. You couldn't explain it to a child, so it's not there in it, really and truly. What's your minimum expectation for this season for Arteta? He needs to get Europe somehow, bro. Conference League, Champions League, which you can't get. Europa League, you need to get that. That's the real minimum because that's what we've been out of simply. So that's that. If not, boy, the minimum, you need to have a system. So I can say, okay, cool. These players, there's a system now. We just need a guy to play next to Partey, maybe a next striker, a this or that, and we're going places. I don't know that. Are you concerned with the lack of experience in our backline? I thought Marie and his experience would have made him the guy, but I might have been wrong. The wickedest thing is it don't matter if man are 26 plus or man are 19 in this team. They're just mad naive defensively, and that just doesn't go for the defenders. Of course, you want experience because, I don't know if you was watching Nice last season where you had Saliba, Tadibo, a couple other young players collectively throughout the team. And even with Marseille now, ironically, with Saliba and Guendouzi. They do some naive things. Or you look at, what's that team? Toulouse a couple of, literally 2 seasons ago when they had 2 young centre-halves. I think Tadibo was there as well. They do naive things. I would have loved for Marie to be a confident centre-half because that's the sort of profile I was looking at. Can you go and get a lesser-known name that can just do a job? At best, you're hoping Chambers or Holding or someone can be brought in to do that. So, yeah, you would lack a bit more than that because there's naiveties there. But it comes from everyone, man. Pablo Marie came from South America. It's experience, but not European footballing experience. To be fair to you, experience can be earned from everywhere, really and truly. And at the same time, Marie's Spanish. I know he hardly got a look in at City and things like that, but it's not like he's been here. And football is a football game, bro. If you're an experienced defender, it doesn't matter if you're from Somalia, Jamaica, England, South America. If you're a real centre-back and you're good at your job, you should be able to do it. If you're a doctor, a good doctor in South America, you can be a good doctor in England. I know there's different ways of learning and things, but, the heart's on the left-hand side or whatever. It's not going to be on the right-hand side in England and stuff. If you're an experienced defender, you're an experienced defender. Obviously there's language barriers and stuff, but if you're a competent defender, you understand looking over your shoulder, communication, when to step out, when to step in, when to hold the line, when to pull out. If you're pulling out, telling a midfielder or the centre half to get across, it doesn't matter where you're from, you should be able to do that. And I don't see that with Maurice. 28, like it's nothing to do with none of that, man. And to be fair, does have something to build upon, man. I know it's not, amazing teams, but you look at it. Let me actually see where it is in the league in the in Eredivisie, he's played 31 times, people. And in the second division in La Liga, again, the equivalent to the championship, he's got 70 appearances. Really and truly, if a championship defender had 70 games at 28, you'd at least expect him to be experienced. So it is what it is, man. It's one of them ones, really. They put Saka there last season, but yeah, man. I think let's just one thing I don't like is, the only place I want Saka to move from, he might have to do a job in the 10, or if we drop all bodies and there's no options, I would probably play him at left back. But I think now's the time. Just let Saka play left and right, man. We've moved him around too much together with playing him all the time. It's a madness, man. Who do you think will be our top goal scorer, assist, player of the season, and where realistically do you think we'll finish? More of the same in terms of where we'll finish. Top goal scorer, not a clue. Hope it's Aubameyang. Top assister, hope it's Odegaard. That's what you're brought in for. Player of the season, boy, don't really care who it is at this moment in time. Someone stand up to be counted. Really, would love it to be Gabriel or one of the Halem boys, but boy, Keane in that, but is what it is. DG, what do we need to fulfill in the winter transfer window? Well, centre mid, man. You need to get a centre mid in. Isn't Maria Kaya Jaripkin client? I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me if he isn't. If he is, sorry, it probably is. That's probably went well. He's our client. I worked with him at City. He's in Brazil. I might have a couple contacts there. Well, Maitland-Niles already is in the first team, so it is what it is, man. How do you feel watching Ronaldo versus Newcastle? I couldn't hear my own voice in the stadium. It was electrifying with all that Sue stuff, and it's what football's about, really. You know, you knew he was gonna score, but at the same time, I can't lie. Bloody hell, that Newcastle. That's gonna be the. I don't know when he plays Arsenal, and this exception might be proven wrong, but that first goal, at least from Ronaldo, bloody hell, it's on a platter. I'm hoping Pepe has a strong season as well. I think we all are. I think Van der Beek gets that treatment as well. People assume he's soft, but he's more combative than McTominay. I don't know if he's more combative than McTominay because I'm not watching him, but fair play. Do you think we're going to slowly climb the table over the next 3 seasons, or could it be a quick jump, or could this be where we consistently finish for the foreseeable future, bro? I don't know. I ain't got a mystic ball. I can only say more of the same because I'm seeing the same old practices. If we change our tone, then anything can be possible, man. Both Ronaldo goals were goalkeeping errors. Yeah, they were, man. Bloody hell, easiest goals. But as a striker, you got to finish your dinner. Not every goals are wealthy. Goals are goals. You know, scoring from a next outside the area or scoring a banger, it don't give you double points unless you do it away from home in the Champions League where there's that away goals thing. Van der Beek isn't as combative as McTominay, but he definitely isn't soft. Still miles better than Fred. Fred caught a stray for no reason. Marie's agent is Arturo Canales, a close associate of Kai Dripkin. So, yeah, you never get too far away from these guys. Leno is worse than Almunia. There's always one Donny over, does it? He's definitely not. Like, Almunia was effing shit, man. That's one of the players. I don't like to say the hate word because I don't hate him as a human. I genuinely hate Gallas for how he's behaved at Arsenal. But if I had to name a terrible Arsenal 11, Almunia is the goalie. How can you be shitter than Ospina? He's been letting us down since 2006. That 2006 Champions League final. Well, to be fair, Lehman got himself sent off. Boy, it's gazy, man. People, make sure you're hitting the like button. Make sure you're also setting your reminders for Bayern Munich versus Barcelona. And also make sure you're hitting up my Twitch, people, because it's Young Boys versus Man United. We're doing a watch along for that in the first game. Yeah, make sure you're all there. Simple as that. Bit out of context, but do you think we put too much pressure on Patino? I mean, publishing scout comments and highlights of his goal on Arsenal's major platforms. I mean, bro, you can't protect him that much. It's a goal, you know. What I don't put no pressure on him because I keep saying to you, lot, stop gassing the thing, just let him develop. You know, when you're seeing things like next Jack Wilshere and all of these sort of things, then obviously it's not helpful, really, because everybody wants to be seen as the Messiah. I was the first guy to speak about him, this, that, and the third. Now he can't control that. Neither can Balogun, neither can Miguel Aziz, neither can Reece Nelson, neither could Bukayo Saka, neither could Smith Rowe. You know, it's not really been said about Patino, but it probably will be the same with Nelson, Smith Rowe, Saka, etc. The best talent out of Haaland since Jack Wilshere, the next Jack Wilshere, you know, it's already, his goal's already being taken out of context. I'm seeing words, and it was a fantastic goal. Bamboozles Phil Jones and Dean Henderson. Now the hype's going to be there. And from what I know of Charlie, the man's mentality is good. He don't believe he's arrived anywhere or all of them things. So I know he will be focused on his mission. I know people who have the relevant opinions, he'll be listening to them, but you can't control the noise. As you become bigger and bigger in this football thing, it only gets worse, I'd say. So yeah, man, I think man gas it too much. Do you think getting Conte would be smart? Players like TONEY and Odegaard might not suit the system. I think TONEY would. Odegaard probably would. Even though he's a top manager, is it a U-turn in the direction, the style of play? In terms of young players and all of that sort of stuff, clearly you'd be moving away from that. So yeah, it might not be the wisest, but therefore better than what we've got. He could very well be the next Jack Wilshere, but just let him develop, man. Let him do his thing, bro. This is the nonsense that fans come up with. And the ones that are doing these scouting reports and waffling, they're going to be the first guys to call these dons overrated. You know how this football thing goes, man. I always thought Ospina was decent, but not brilliant, but did a job every now and again. I can't lie, I thought he was shit. Respect your opinion, but I thought he was shit. I don't really like them eccentric keepers, as I keep saying. I just feel Espina did some calam things. Like I'm seeing corners. Was it against Swansea? Corners come in. He's caught it. Somehow fell into his goal. Nah, man, he was shit, bro. I'm sorry, man. You know, we've had some terrible keepers at this club. Espina better than Almunia, but nah, man. Tired. Bare tired. It's like Arsenal have a fetish for tired keepers, man. Rinnison giving them man a run for their money. We missed a trick with Basuma. If he has another good season, that 35 turns to 78. He does it when you look at his contract. In a Conte system, Ainsley Maitland-Niles is literally his Victor Moses. The rest of the squad picks itself. I'd let that run. Trust me, just let Charlie Patino be Patino. Facts as that, man. Hey, you shit, man. Football capo, of course you're gonna be biased. You know, respect the Colombian all-time baller, bro. Nothing to do with his nationality. Just shit, bro. Like, can't call you shit if I don't think you are. Like 310 likes. If you've hit the like button, God bless you. Hope you know you will get some good news. You will win the lottery. Continued health, all of those sort of things, people. I wish obviously continued health for people who haven't hit the dislike button, but I do wish unexpected high bills for you, man. You know what? Forget that. If you don't hit the like button, you're gonna get two unexpected high bills for those of you who celebrate Christmas when Christmas comes. And I know some of you got kids, you know, and they're gonna want PS5 and new boots. And I'm pretty sure every United fan that just because it's come up here, they all want Ronaldo number 7 and all these things. You don't need that there. Man said, did you rate Fabianski? To be fair, he weren't a shit as couple man, but he weren't shit, man. Fabianski was okay, but he was part of the calamities as well, man. Appreciate you, Seed. He was Arsenal have a fetish for tired keepers, man. I can't lie. I hope Ramsdale breaks that trend, man. Already got a PS5. You don't want it to bust, though, dog. The man said, yo, you just reminded me about Euros millions today. Raw, just had to double check. I hit the like. Nice way to gather likes. Hey, man. Nobody wants to lose peas, innit? Bro, you've got to, man. You've got to. Ospina was calamitous, not gonna lie, and didn't fill me with confidence towards the end. It was good for him to go. Yo, what's happening, DG? I'm there, man. Arsenal needs the high bills, man. Pay for them some decent plays. Oh, man, you lot always got something funny to say. I respect it. Like's been hit. Stop panicking like Ospina in goal. Hey, if you've hit the like button, you don't need to panic. If not, boy, we got to 300, but there's no panic for me. We was at 315, now we're at 337. So some of you are shook. I respect it though. In terms of Arsenal news, is there anything else? Let me browse through and whatnot. We've covered Ivan Toney. We spoke about that Bellerin-ish yesterday. Yeah, man, there ain't nothing new, people. There, I'm trying to skip. No, man. I mean, it's lovely to play. It's lovely to play once a week when you've won. I think Tommy/TT had a good game. He flew forward. You know, he made himself narrow and inverted. He went down the flanks. He just looks competent and confident in his abilities. Hopefully he can show he's consistent. But same way, it's only 90 minutes in it. And for me, it's 90 minutes. Well, you know, I mean, he didn't play 90 minutes, but it's one game, 90 minutes, quote unquote. As a defender, you barely asked anything really. You know, Norwich didn't ask you anything really. Now, again, if you play a Spurs and you're playing against a Sun or, you know, Brighton and, you know, Mupe and them man are moving Buki, then I'm going to learn a lot. I'm going to learn a lot in all that defense. As I said, I think go to my last live stream and look at the timestamps. I kind of covered it and I think I cut up the video, so I'll upload it. But you're going to learn a lot even against Burnley. Set pieces, bare organization now. So there's going to be a lot to learn. And this is it. Ramsdale is the number one. I mean, in terms of specifically training, Wilshere's welcome to do that, man. I don't know where we're finishing this season, but more of the same. Hit the like button if you haven't, like Joey has said. Do you think we need a midfielder in the same mode as Cazorla or as Gilberto Silva? I mean, I'm taking both, but I think you need two of them Santi sort of players, or a real sort of Santi replacement and a sort of bootleg guy, a guy that can do the Santi stuff, but it's not quite levels. I think you've got Lokonga now, you've got Partey. You know, if Ainsley's going to do the right back / midfield role, you probably bag a little cheap midfielder that can do that as well. But I think we need more glamorous ones, man. Ozil was never as lazy as his critics made out. Played within himself a lot, but he covered a lot of ground and he was misunderstood. And this is it. McNeil against TT. This is what I'm talking about. That's the real battle when someone wants to be a 1v1 demon. I hope Leno leaves. The disrespect from fans is unreal. Big up DG. I'm keen to see Saka back in form. It's been a tough start for him. Trust me. But he will get there, man. He does need to learn how to score, though. Arsenal looking good at the back now. Potential for top 6, I reckon. I'm not putting money on it, though. Dan, I hear you, but see me? That was one game. Show me you can put in a confident performance against Burnley. Show me you can rise to the occasion against Brighton. I mean, Burnley, apologies. Show me you can do it against Spurs. Show me in October you can do it against Brighton. Show me you can do it against Palace, who Palace is, I won't say bogey team, but too many times we've played Palace and it's been far from a foregone conclusion and all of that. Well, Ronaldo hitting stepovers in this game. He's tired, bro. That was tired. Taking 1,000 years. Get Wilshere back. We need him, mate. I think we have a young team and we need to be very patient. I mean, you know, if I'm sitting in a waiting room in hospital and you're telling me be patient, but I'm asking you, you know, have you put my name on the list for the walking center thing? Then man can't really be patient. If you tell me, yeah, I'm on it, that, you know, you're this in line, that's happening, then I'm patient in it because I know I have to sit there. But, you know, patience without context is dead. You know, saying trust the process, context, all of these things, it's all dead in isolation. Make of that what you will, to be fair with you. Someone says Xhaka ain't better, Wilshere ain't better than Xhaka, you're capping. You don't believe that. Tino, you don't believe that. We've been waiting 15 years, still waiting to compete against Bayern. Trust me. Trust me. A man said Wilshere a name from Fabregas era. Nelson and Leno are names that were hopeful from Wenger / Emre era. When will we Arsenal learn to move on from past players? None of them would make the Munich bench. I mean, we're not at the level to even be considering people that make the Munich bench. But I hear you, man. I think it's good to see all these youngsters who can grow, but there's a proper lack of good experienced players to lead them. Ding, ding, ding. You know, I'm looking at Partey. I'm looking at on-form Aubameyang. I'm looking at actually Laka for a year. You're all right when you play. I don't believe in Marie. I don't believe in Bellerin. I would say I believe in Leno, but I don't really believe in Leno. His is a bit different. There's probably a couple of names I'm missing out. And if I've missed you out, your age is irrelevant, Kai. You're not good. I don't feel good about the Burnley game, but if something bad happens, Arteta's got to be in serious problems. I'd rather Wilshere play there. I can't lie. Fit Wilshere, I think he affects the game better than Xhaka, honestly. Oh, I think, well, on the bench until January pairs you play, I'd accept it with Wilshere, but it's gonna be tired, isn't it? So yeah, it's gonna be one of them ones. Crypto biz, come on, wake up, man. Apparently, Gnabry's in the last year of his contract, bro. To be fair with you, was it my man? What's his name? What's the German midfielder? You lot know him, man. You'd swear he joined them on a free transfer as well. Goretzka, and he signed a new deal. A man said a tortoise in a straight jacket affects the game better than Xhaka. I think you lot being a bit harsh, being very harsh there. But I hear you, man. I just think purely because Wilshere's going to do things in less touches. He's better than Xhaka there, but I don't rate if things can be done. The best midfielders do things in less, you know, and do things quicker. If things can be done in 5 touches, Leno's taking 20. And there's people that might not be world class. If it can be done in 5 passes, it's done in 5 passes or less. It's one of them ones, man. Which side has the best squad in the Premier League? I would probably say in terms. I know they ain't got a goalie. I mean, I know they ain't got a thingy. They ain't got what's it? They ain't got a striker technically, an out and out forward. But I'd say City, just in terms of if things happen, there's a cope, there's depth. I would say Chelsea, but then obviously something happens to Lukaku, you're down. United are very top heavy. I'm not convinced with the midfield away from Bruno and Pogba. Injuries affect things. At the back, you got Varane and that, but again, there's a drop off. So I'd probably say City, maybe Chelsea, but I'd probably say City. To be fair, we're all saying a half fit Jack Wilshere, man. Feel like the writing's gotta be on the wall for Xhaka. I mean, he survived, didn't it? Xhaka is a great player when played to his strengths, but at Arsenal, he's not. The main problem is his hot head. I don't think it's his hot head. I think it's taking too many touches, not focusing, not really being agile. False pretenses, not good enough to build a system around. I wouldn't quite say he's a great player, but yeah, man. I think if anything, all Arteta does is play to his strength, just like with Switzerland. It's just the Prem, you can't fraud it, man. The shit players never get injured. You know this at Arsenal. That's why Tini can't stay fit. Partey can't stay fit. But yeah, Jack Wilshere away from sentiment, it don't make sense. Pay as you play deal. That's it. You couldn't rely on him. But saying that, in his last couple of years, he has managed to stay fit. Out of the 20 Premier League teams, which midfield would Xhaka walk into? I mean, there's a bag of teams he's walking into in the Premier. He's not walking into the top teams, if you're asking sense. But let's not act like he's not a Premier League footballer, man. Bro, what? Because it's slower? I can't lie. I watch both of these leagues and I think it's a fallacy. It's not as slow as people make out. I think Xhaka is a Premier League player, just not here. So yeah, he will do all right in those leagues. But again, we buy players and elevate them to statuses they're not. No way on God's green earth was my man. This what they call it, people. This what was it, man? Swiss Perlo and all of that. Leave it out, man. Allow me, man. Clear Xhaka, bro. A fit Diaby's better than Jack Wilshere, but again, the man they are not fit, so it is what it is. As Arsenal fans, we love it. If Eduardo never got injured, if this happened, if that happened, facts is it, isn't it? Wilshere, for me, I would give him a deal because he's an exception to the rule, but he's a flight risk, man. There's no point. People, please make sure you're not only hitting the like button, but you're setting your reminders on Twitch and on YouTube. Obviously, first up, you've got Young Boys. You've got Young Boys against Manchester United on Twitch. Make sure you're pre-ing that. And then obviously, you've got I'm about to say Arsenal, definitely got Arsenal. You've got Bayern Munich versus Barcelona. He would be good for the young players, but I mean, I don't want to bring someone in just because they're good for the young players. We hear that with Lacazette, we heard that with David Luiz, we heard that with El Nene. Even I've done interviews with these players, and they've said El Nene is good for them and that. So it's dead, man. Every experienced player, or even the young players in and around the squad, they should be an example for younger man now, really and truly. So I would like it, but a man said that's the problem. Xhaka walks in our games. Yep, that's right. Xhaka for Switzerland at the Euros played to the left of a back three. Can't handle the pressure well. Slow turning circles and doesn't read pressure well either. Heard it with Willian as well. Sean is dead, bro. I do think he's a Premier League player, but not levels. I agree. Like, he could play in the Prem, but for a team that's trying to do serious things, it's rubbed. It really is rubbed. Do you think boycotting games right now makes you a fake fan? No. I do think wanting us to lose, though, does. But yeah, man. A man said, nah, he'd suit Burnley with those red cards. Fair play. But on that though, people, we've been here for an hour and a half. I'm going to keep it moving purely because we're working to a tight schedule today. I've got some things to do. We're at 374 likes. Can we get that to 500? One love for everybody that's participated positively in this. And like I said, the good funds are here because again, later today, 5:10 p.m. UK time. Adjust your clocks. You've got Young Boys against Man United over on Twitch. Make sure you're following and subscribing there. And then once again, you know, so to follow Man United, you've got Bayern Munich versus Barcelona. So yeah, man. Appreciate that. The next stream is at 5:10 p.m. UK time. So yeah, make sure you're following on both platforms. Information's in the pin chat as well. Information once again is in the description. It's been a good one, people. But yeah, man, let you lot get out of here. DG.